Oh well, okay. Actually, this is going. This is to the modern mystic man, and also to Watcher Johnny. And I've taken a view of your posting on the Icelandic situation, um, and viewed Johnny's take on on that situation. So I'm going to offer just a couple of quick things. Hoping that you would have seen Dr. Michael Hudson's Financial Times article from about a month ago. I think it was maybe a little bit more, in which he kind of laid out a lot of the same kind of information that was contained in the Guardian article that you were reading. And that is to say, the impossibility of the sovereign nation of Iceland to actually make an unpayable payment, to pay an unpayable debt. Um, I want to actually just first go just big about the tangled web, because in his video commentary, Watcher Johnny, started to raise the bigger question about what's happening during the contraction phase of the global economy right now, and how the hell are we really handling this, planning to handle this, and why isn't anybody talking about the things that he's talking about, which is such an excellent question. Um, but if you understand what I've been saying and what we've been saying at Kettle Pond Institute for Debt-Free Money, um, you will see how it all ties together. The article in the Financial Times was written by Dr. Michael Hudson, economist, who is a consultant to the governments of both Latvia and Iceland. Although his article didn't really go into what he may be advising them about. However, Dr. Michael Hudson was also a presenter at the recent American Monetary Institute conference on monetary reform. Why? Because what's going on in Iceland is the result of having, kind of a cowboy mentality by the moneymakers, by the debt makers and the debt meisters of the world that have been managing this debt industry to the point where we are right now. So, having said that, what I want to also say is, as soon as the video of Dr. Hudson's presentation at the conference is available, we intend to make it available online, because in it he's able to lay out in rapid fire facts, one after the other, of the absurdity, full and complete absurdity of the situation, and how a sovereign nation might act and might be forced to act in these kinds of circumstances. So, just to put that out there, that's coming. It is absurd. It is absurd that banks can run up debts that can threaten the economies of sovereign nations, to the point where governments have to step in and acknowledge, I guess the way I should put it is, nationally denominated debts. That is to say, debts in the Icelandic currency, debts in the Latvian currency, that can never be paid if that country is ever to have an economic identity again. So, what do we have there? We have the private central banks letting the money system run amok to the detriment of the nation, and the nation being forced into really unacceptable austerity measures, in order to be able to have and not even a growing economy, just a stable economy with a workable standard of living for the people. And, you know, the absurdity of that situation is kind of starting to hit home. I liked it when Watcher Johnny said, you know, that could be happening to lots of big countries if the debts have to be repaid. And you mentioned the United States of America. I just want to say I don't think Watcher Johnny is so far off there. Okay, that is to say, we have got ourselves into a debt situation right now where if we ever did have to pay off the debts that are out there, which are unpayable and are not able to be paid off, but if we were ever to do it, if we were ever to take from our economy through our taxpayers the money that we would earn in order to repay the debts that the private central bank and the private banking system has allowed to be created, you know, our economic story will be history before you know it. Now, having said that, lastly, I want to get on to his point about, but what's happening with all this debt? You know, he was talking about the fact of the contraction of the economy going on, and I'm going to presume that he's read the Fed's publication on modern money mechanics, whereby it lays out that in an expanding economy, the multiplying factor allows banks to basically lend out $10 for every dollar they have in deposit for each and every bank. Okay? And so then we have deposit insurance to make sure that nobody can come in and ask for $2 because they really only have one. Just in case anybody comes in, we've got deposit insurance. So that's in the expansion phase. The mechanics work in reverse in the contraction phase. What does that mean? That means whereas for every dollar they lend out 9 on the expansion, for every dollar coming back they take back 9. For every dollar being reduced, they need to take back 9 in order to maintain their capital reserve ratios or capitalization requirements, just depending on what type of bank they are. And they can't do it. And because they can't do it, we create excess reserves, and that's how we got, you know, right now the highest level, if you look at the Fed's excess reserve reports, right now the highest level of excess reserves, not only ever in history, but ever in this cycle. So it's kind of a sign that things are tightening up again, seriously tightening up again. But my point is this: you really need to understand the debt money system in order to get a handle on what needs to be done to correct this problem. We cannot pay our way out. Ask every listener and reader. Go to Financial Sense University. Go to a guy named Stephen LaChance. Find him as an author. He's written a paper entitled How Debt Money Goes Broke. Okay? And it's just about as simple as this. At the point that it's not possible for the economy to generate new debt money fast enough to make the increasing debt service payments, the jig is up. And the jig's been up, okay? So if the debt money system worked, the jig is up, and it's been up. But it doesn't work, and so now we're on life support. You've heard that stated. You even heard it stated by Janet Yellen the other week or two ago when she gave a speech, and she's the head of the San Francisco Fed. We're on life support. What does that mean? We're on life support. Think about life support, okay? We have artificial things out here that are feeding and holding us and keeping us alive. You know, and in the meantime, the banks are making gazillions and the bank officers are making quadrillions. No, the system's broke and it's broken, and it needs to be fixed. And in order to understand how to fix it, you really need to understand how modern money mechanics works. That's the answer to that question. Read Stephen LaChance's paper, How Debt Money Was Broke. You are here. The choices are a new money system or chaos in the streets. And we need to start talking about that right now. Thanks.